Well, let's get to America and get this show on the road.
This is my only request.
The isolated part of America, Maine. Who the hell goes to Maine?
Can someone be in charge of the NPC spreadsheet and while I take notes? Por favor.
Oh, I completely forgot to do it.
I completely forgot to do it too. I've been
Because I did
dropping
notes.
the fucking ball. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I sat here with a book and a pencil doing notes.
Speaking of notes,
the NPCs we met that weren't on that list aren't around anymore, so we're fine.
They got Capri Sun.
also, since you wrote the notes last time, can you give us a recap?
Oh god, brain. I've had a lot of shit happen IRL. Let me just look at them in a second.
On the spot there.
I can't remember who I chose the last time. I think it was Junior.
Basically, the first half of the session was us just hanging out in the sanctum and talking. And we were just discussing all sorts of shit and like all the problems going on in Dusktown. And constantly, Dahlia, Julian, and Henry were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go visit Agnes. Be right back." And then some other subject was brought up, and then they'd wait further. So it's just like a constantly like.
And then,
and then you guys went and had fun with Agnes.
Gauser remained behind and had nice conversations with the Guardian.
I wanted to do some research.
Oh, before you ask a question to the Guardian, turn around and just say, "He's never going to tell us the answer to this," and then say it, because then the Guardian then spills the tea.
How did you get to Agnes?
Henry drives, I think, right?
They went outside and they were just trying to hail a cab, and then this guy went over and was like, "Hey, that's not how it works anymore," and then called them an Uber.
Right, exactly. Like Dahlia came out and she whistled.
No. Then Dahlia said,
Yes.
And I remember the
there's
name.
a nice person with a phone. Yeah.
we should get an app. But if Dahlia meant we should go and get that man, and that man needs to be our permanent slave.
Yes, exactly.
The poor man's name is Carl.
Yes.
Carl is his name.
What happened to Carl at the end of the session, though?
That was the other one.
That was Carl.
Henry killed our
Carl was the guy
right?
who helped us out with the cab. The cab driver, though, is the one who got
he's the one who got eviscerated. Yeah.
Right, let's focus on Carl.
Oh yeah, Carl called him a cab and then walked away. Then the cab driver.
We will see Carl again.
I thought Jack was the one who died. Never mind.
So Henry
anyway,
forcefully put. What was the other one?
Carl.
What's
Jack.
it called? Jack.
Jack was the Uber driver.
And also hunger frenzied and drained the poor cab driver.
I'm happy with that recollection.
Henry got rid of the car and killed his mother.
No, Jack's mother.
Yeah.
So Jack's a dirty sinner, and therefore we were going to pay Jack lots of money just to be the right driver's places and do things. But he's a dirty sinner.
We were.
Well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
But then we found out he was a filthy, dirty sinner, so we were going to kill him.
Right.
And
his whole family.
And any parents and whatnot.
If I remember correctly, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Was the expression that was used.
Someone may have sort of floated the idea that we should wipe his seed from the planet.
Right.
Henry.
Not at all Henry over here with the knife. Yeah.
And then we put him in the cage because we need people in cages, evidently. And then
we were going to feed our pet fish person.
Right, gotcha. And then Henry just went and drove the car so it wouldn't be discovered, and accidentally found Jack's mum, so killed her as well.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Jesus Christ.
And I think
and here's the thing.
I think you use your xenomorph blood on the mother to make the dust blood or her
and
body
disappear. Appears.
And Julian had he needed a lot of convincing all the way through because he kept having these bouts of conscience and was like, do you think this is really a good idea? And it was constant. Like, it was just like, do you think how can't you treat the cab driver just a little bit better?
And Julian said, go ahead. He did. He said, go ahead, Henry.
No, I was getting to that. He comes around every single time. Like, he comes to understand, and then he reminded us that he is 2.5 centuries old, and that despite the fact that he feels and may seem young at times with his moral boundaries, he's actually very ancient, and he had a rock thrown at him. That was something that a lot of people missed. He caught it though, like very daredevil, just caught it out of thin air. But yeah, and I don't think he was on board with what we were about to do to Jack. But Dahlia tried to explain that she tried to do right in that situation. She came up, she said, Henry is out of control. I can't do anything with him. And just reassured him that she did everything she could. So yeah,
the key thing with Julian was that he looked into Jack's future to see how he would die.
It was so dark.
And he would die a unexceptional anticlimactic death in a drug deal gone bad in only a handful of years. And he's like, well, all right.
That was exactly his reaction too, and it was just like, I think that last episode was one of our darkest, if not the darkest. It was one of our darkness. The title of it should be Into Darkness.
Once he saw that with Jack, he's like, all right, go ahead in.
It made me go, Jesus fucking Christ, at the end of it. Back to the main quest thing. You went to Agnes to get help with finding the serial killer. She would give you a sight of death from one of the victims in exchange for a feather, a locket from a correctional facility out in the lake. That was the price. Dahlia also made a deal on the side in a dome of silence. So nobody could listen in.
Agnes and Dahlia got on like a house on fire. Like, it was it was great.
I want to say that a lot of the problems that Julian had was because of everything that Dahlia was saying, thinking, doing, and everything else around race.
Listen, I just think their relationship is extra spicy. All right, they just, they're coming to an understanding, and the audience is here for it.
Two very highly motivated people in the opposite direction. I think that's gonna go.
But you'd all decided that it had been a night and it's time to go to bed. So
yes, indeed.
If you haven't regained your willpower, you will now. And you all need to do a rouse. Wakey. And also, if you want to, you can do 3 extra to heal some of your ag. Go straight back to hunger 4.
Can you rouse before leaving your room, please?
I'm fine at the moment.
Guys, why do you hear scratching sounds coming from his room? What's going on with that?
Now, what I don't remember is how hungry I have to be before I go watery.
1.
2.
No.
Was it?
I don't remember if it's 3 or if it's
No
4.
one remembers.
It's 3.
Fuck it. I'll do
Henry's
better if
hungry
I have
again.
more health.
That's a success, and I'm going to rouse again, so we have the whole mortal, she's doing her face. So that's 1 hunger gain.
Yo, I better do that too. Hey, 2 10s back to back.
All right, now that you've spent your critical 10s.
Yes, I know. Right now, this is the episode Julian dies. Here we go.
2 out of 3 successes on healing an ag.
So
I
you're
was
back.
really excited to use my herd until I realized I don't have one. So we're rolling in with 3 hunger. Let's go.
Oh,
Check
no.
the cage.
I have a picky palate. I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to pass.
Let me see. Did
You can
anyone
force yourself? I think it's just like a willpower or 2, right? You can just kind of force yourself to kind of.
Depends how old you are. The older you are, the more difficult it is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The more particular you
Like,
get, yeah. I find that happens with age.
From what you told me went on at the hospital, I think Ella's can have a very big amount of difficulty feeding from something else.
There's gonna yes, correct. You know, it's like the
Julian
mistakes were
is
made.
the only one who didn't get a hunger gain, right?
Yes.
Yes, we're all slightly hungry now, and some of us may be more watery than others.
No, I only got one fail, not many.
Strangely.
Oh, you only
Henry
had to heal the ag, not any kind of superficial or anything?
No, I have another ag, but I'm not doing 3 more.
Oh, okay.
Henry, the moment you wake, you see again the statue of the Greek goddess. Just a flash, a little reminder from your beast. Ella, you hear the beast's voice. Dear, you need to stay on task. You know what you have to do. Get the artifact. Dahlia, you're doing splendid, dear. Continue. And make sure you make the right preparations before going to the Moon Lake facility.
Yes,
It would be
indeed.
very irritating if you're not prepared. For me. Also, you wake with flash of those eyes again. And you get the feeling of stay away.
The fish people know he's there.
But you wake. It's about 5 in the afternoon. It's winter. Not that any of you have a clock on you, but you have this internal clock at least to figure out how long until sunrise. And it's at least 14 hours. So, you're good. You gather. The Guardian is waiting for you as always. Stoic, straight back, and just waiting until you need him or he needs you to do something.
I have a question.
Yes,
Is the Guardian always dressed the same way?
always.
Okay. Dahlia, in a new set of clothes, because who wears the same clothes? In a new set of clothes, a whole new outfit, looking good, insofar as she can, and basically goes to him and goes, darling, you are looking just fantastic. How do you choose your outfits every single day? Like, you just have everything together. It's great.
You all dressed me for the part of a butler.
Aren't you fortunate to have us, like, people with culture and taste? You are just looking magnifique.
Thank you, mistress.
You're very welcome. And you should be thanking us.
He gives you a wry smile or slightly annoyed, but
Yeah. There's like thoughts of murder behind his eyes, I know.
daydreaming. But yeah, you all emerge from your room and your sanctum.
So one more thing. I know I keep interrupting. I'm sorry. So does I assume that they have certain materials that they've had brought here, right? In our special house.
The rituals.
Like, okay, let me be more specific. So materials by way of, like, remember what the beast said to Dahlia, okay, you need to make sure that you prepare in the right way. Well, Dahlia would attempt to do that with certain texts and things that she would have kept with her, essential library sort of stuff, and so given that they built this house together, and that this is their house on the street, and everything, would they have their own tomes, like, in their own special rooms, or is that in the collective library room, or where is that? Because she would the intention would be to, how do we put this, explore learn, refresh memory type of thing about certain spiritual matters, dealing with, interacting with in fun and friendly ways with spirits, and getting them to cooperate.
Anything you need for your ceremonies, you have in your safe.
Excellent.
Or
excellent.
any
So yeah,
personal
she's
items that is not for communal use, you have in your safe.
It's a big safe. So she's gonna like pull out like extra tomes. They've been preserved, like, you know, no scratches on them, like new on Amazon.
It's
so
about the width of a person and almost as tall as yourself.
yeah, and so only the most essential tomes, and these wouldn't go for anything less than like somebody's life. So basically, you know, she would take some time, you know, licking her fingers and basically like, you know, going through and you know, basically kind of reviewing. It's been a hot minute, you know, since you know she'd looked at that sort of thing, and over the course of sleeping for, I don't know, 30 years or 40 years or how long it's been, she would have studied the rituals and the intricacies of I guess, as I said, interacting with spirits in a helpful manner. So yeah.
Yep. You do it in the common hall or by yourself?
No. She would do that by herself. She doesn't. She feels that if the others might misinterpret that knowledge. Not that it's written in Braille or anything for the more morally sensitive among us, but like she would just keep it to herself, kind of thing. So it would take her a while to come out of the room. So to change time around, you are using my powers of tempors here, you know, the powers I don't have. But basically, yeah, she would basically do that and then come out like fashionably late and then talk to the guardian the way she did. Sorry.
Speaking of preparing rituals, Henry, you need to prepare your looking glass again if you want to use it. It's just a rouse check. And I believe Dowser already have a couple of things up his sleeve prepared. You gather there's still things on the agenda. I recommend seeking that out before you do something silly like diving into the lake. But I know Dahlia and Julian and Dowser has at least started their own personal quest, let's call it that. But I know Henry wants to go to church, at least he said that last time, and perhaps Ella has somewhere she wants to go as well. Speaking of Ella, last time, since you're not here, you're out scouting the area where you're searching for an object. It's a Greek part of town, which is weird. The architecture, the white buildings, the flat roofs. If it was summer and nice weather, it would probably look good, but it's kind of weird to see those buildings in this kind of setting. You did manage to find a building different to the others. It's apparently an adult club or a strip club, if you prefer. You didn't go inside, but you just scouted out the place.
Fine dancing establishment in a quaint place like Dusktown. Interesting. So she didn't go inside. Is there any information she could gather on who owns it or what the buildings, there's any other uses for the building or anything?
You assume it's a kindred-owned establishment. Jesus Christ, no, I forget names. Hector. Gabri. It matches with the domain list that you guys were given. And the club is called the Serpentine. It has a very large pink neon sign depicting a snake outside. The windows outside are frosted. And behind them there are kind of these human figures, you assume mannequins, just standing in the window. But yeah, that was just to give you something to do last night.
Yeah, she's definitely invested in this for personal and professional reasons.
Let's just say you all gather around the table eventually to figure out your next move and make plans. The Guardian's, of course, just standing there, not taking a seat ever.
How's everyone doing?
Doing
Did you
well,
rest
and
well?
yourself?
Oh, good. I slept very well. I didn't hear much after a certain point last night. I had to cover my head with a pillow. But how is Jack doing?
We're all going to be looking at Dozer.
Who is Jack?
Julie just looks
He
expectantly
was a
at
fallen
Dowser
mortal.
and Henry.
Is he somebody that we used to know?
He's the one in the cage, Dowser will say, just point over.
Is there just a corpse in the cage? Is this...
Yes.
He's sleeping right now.
I can't hear him breathing.
The world is better, but he is not in it. Put it that way.
So you killed him then?
What
Oh.
did you do, Henry?
I brought him and put him into the cage. He was still alive at that point, I believe.
Dowser, you're looking great this morning, you know, as in this evening.
Thank you.
Yeah. None of the usual irregularities that, you know, the aquatic features that you sometimes bring to the table. Yeah. It looks like you're feeling better than you did yesterday, is what I'll say. So perhaps things went well with your encounter with our new acquaintance.
It seemed that way. And
Yeah.
most of my injuries have healed as well, which is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Did he suffer?
Unfortunately, his mother did. It wasn't as
Dude.
clean as it could have been.
Whatever do you mean?
I killed his mother.
Why?
The sin came from somewhere. It didn't appear. He was born with it. You agreed that he was so evil he had to be destroyed. Why would you let another type of his evil survive?
Julian is taken aback. He's like, what?
That is what you agreed to.
Jack was destined for some fate that was cold and cruel, and only a handful of years from now. I did not intervene because I saw that. But
Where did
his
that
mother,
come from? I said, if he had children, if he had parents, they needed to go too. If the tree is dying, you don't just cut off one branch.
I did not know that you were going to do this.
I do apologize. I shall be more articulate next time. But as I said, I'm willing to help any of you. But where there is sin, it must be dealt with.
Remind me of the pastor we had in our settlement. He did not look kindly upon my family because of the sins of my father.
Hmm.
Will you kill me as well, because I'm the son of a drunkard?
Is your father still alive?
No.
Excellent. Both you and he are dead. I see no problem in that.
Julie just gets quiet. He doesn't say anything to that. Just kind of puts his... He just kind of turns his head over to the cage, and he can't hear any He can't see the body, he just can't hear the breathing. He can't hear anything.
The cage is in the next room, but
Oh.
He would still hear it though.
yeah, he would.
I wonder if Dazer's stomach is rumbling.
Should I get rid of the corpse, or do you have some use for it? Mistress Dahlia or Henry, perhaps?
Keep it for now, darling. You know, we wouldn't want it to go to waste.
it will start to smell at some point.
Really?
We do not have
Oh,
a
really?
freezer down here, unfortunately.
And she's going to give a very pointed look at Dowser. You went and all of this, but you didn't think about a freezer?
There's
Really?
actually no electricity down here.
Not even an ice box? Come on.
There might be one upstairs, but it would be less secure. And someone would have to call the power company and have them turn it back on.
We need to start talking about generators, right?
If you could change the rules so I could leave the house, I could do it for you, but
No. I think you're doing just fine right here where you are. Yeah.
I must say the sound of the generators would keep me up. I would not be able to escape it.
Of course, I didn't even think about that. You're right, Julian. All right. Well, Guardian, we don't want an odor, so when putrefaction starts setting in, just let us know.
I believe Julian will be the first to smell it.
Well, yes, he probably would be.
I have mail for you. Kind of waves
All of us, or just for me?
All of you. He kind of waves his hand, and another parchment scroll appears.
Is there a little noise with it and everything? You got mail.
It's actually eerily silent, like he pulls it out of the air.
Oh, okay.
And hands it to whoever is closest.
I think Ella would take it. She would.
Same seal.
Even if she wasn't, she would take it.
Same seal as the last one. I assume you read it. It's just a list, and it's signed by the benefactor. But, sorry. Hair of a fae, essence of a ferryman, mana of a djinn, tear of a fallen, and vitae of an ancient. That's all it says.
She would read it out loud. Does any of this make sense to any of you all?
I would like to do an occult check.
Would I?
Will that help at all?
Yes, it's different items, so the higher you roll, the more info you will get. I'll just write it in.
We have a cult. What can we roll with? Occult intelligence?
Yes, yes, please.
Can I add my specialty to it?
Remember what it is.
Mythos surrounding water, considering the ferryman was mentioned.
No, not that kind of ferryman.
Well, that's a 3. It's not terrible. It looks like Dowser got a 4.
Yeah.
Anyone else making a roll? Ella? 2.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have, but we're here for it, so let's go. I got 2 successes, but I got a 1 on a hunger die.
Yay! More of Ella's feast.
Let's go.
I'll get back to that. I need to think for a moment.
Flips the table. This is bullshit.
Well, let's start with the obvious. Dahlia, ferryman is a type of wraith. You know that. Someone who, well, like, what's the guy? Greek myth.
Charon.
Yes, the ferryman. Apparently some kind of wraith travel powers or some shit like that. Not really a specialty, Dahlia, but you have heard of ferryman. Dowser You have never met one, but you have heard of Fae. You usually keep away from kindred. But you know in your origins, countries, and myth, there's at least a few types of Fae in there. But as far as you know, it's a very broad term. Kind of like vampire or kindred. They would probably have subspecies or something akin to bloodlines. A Jinn you have never heard about apart from the typical Jinny, rock the lamp, wishes, all that, but you don't actually know what it really is. Tear of a Fallen, you assume it's a demon. You don't know how you get a demon to cry, but it might be symbolism.
We ask politely.
And Vitae of an Ancient, only kindred have Vitae. You don't know how old you have to be be classified as an ancient, but it's definitely kindred.
Well, it seems like we have a shopping list for some sort of ritual, not a potion.
Involving essences of certain supernatural mythological beings.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to try and find the fair folk.
On an unrelated note, I would like to go to that church because there's a statue I need to pick up. Or was that the museum?
That was the museum, but you also need to go to the church because there's a book you need to pick up.
I need to get to the church, but with that list, I think it'd be really good to pop to a museum.
I had perhaps, being so old, my memory is not what it was, but I had the impression that you were not keen on going to the church before.
Kind of avoid priests.
I see. It's just the priest, not the building itself.
They tend to be the most sort of sinful of all the ones.
Oof. Yes. Especially here, probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was where Agnes said the book was that you're looking for.
So Henry, clarify something for me.
Of course.
If we encounter certain people, whether of the cloth or not, who have clearly sinned and you are aware of it.
Oh, no. Jack had nothing in his soul but darkness and just no.
I'm not disputing that at all. I've
never seen anyone as disgusting as that creature.
And I hear you.
Life.
I hear you on that. I do. I want you to know I'm on the same page. I understand that you're very sensitive about these sorts of things. And so what I'm trying to say is, were you to come into awareness or knowledge of, say, the blackness of other people's souls, such as on the same level as Jack, like we're talking, would you be inclined, say you encountered a whole room of said people, would you be inclined to just kill them all, to put it bluntly?
It's a difficult question to answer. In the last 200-300 years, he's probably the fourth person I've ever met. It's very rare, very, very rare to find anything as disgusting as that mortal.
So you're saying the chances are low?
Yes.
Okay. I was just positing a hypothetical. I was thinking that perhaps if we encountered a church full of terrible people, you might, in fact, decide that they all need to be purged.
I could never do anything that would endanger us.
Oh, okay, I understand. Good. All right. So you wouldn't just go on a sanctimonious killing frenzy then?
In the same way you wouldn't put any of us at risk chasing fetters and
no, of course not. I would never do that, darling. No, absolutely not. Yeah. No, you all come first. I am thinking of your well-being every single moment of every single night. So I absolutely 100%.
I truly believe you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good to know, Henry. I think that we are all better for it, knowing that you would not decide to send those souls, blackened though they might be, all of them to the depths where they belong. So, yeah.
Ella, yes, your beast speaks. I have to say something. You're taking these henchmen of yours to that club tonight, or I'm gonna make your life a living hell.
You just see Ella shaking her head back and forth, nodding. She's not in this conversation. She's in her own personal prison.
For our goddess, act like it.
You just see her arms crossing. So, to you all, it seems like you all had fun gallivanting last night. I did as well. Would you like to go out on the town and see a new place that I found out? It's not a hospital, it's not a church, but it is a place that maybe we can entertain conversation and or others within the town. Maybe get some information on these locations that we're going to later in this evening, it sounds like.
I think
Ella,
that'd be a good
darling,
idea.
could you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Julian.
I think that would be a good idea, and we'd have a foothold here. People could recognize our faces and help us.
Likewise, and maybe we could help them.
Do you feel? Could you describe the sort of people who inhabit? Maybe just give us a brief rundown of like this place that you are taking us to.
It is a private location on the Greek town side of Dusktown, I guess. However, are you familiar with Hector at all? Well, he's there's some investments in it, but might be someone maybe we could find out more about. I don't know, but it is a venue for relaxing, enjoying time, company of others, and really appreciating entertainment or athleticism.
Is it a brothel?
That it is not, to my knowledge. I believe that it operates within the law, whatever that may be. But I guess any building could be a brothel. Really.
I didn't say that to, make any snap or anything. It just sounded like it from your description.
No, it's a fine dancing establishment.
Julian's like 17th century brain. You're like, what does that sound like?
Well, there is a beautiful serpentine sign outside of it, neon pink, and you cannot miss it. It's quite interesting, a little bit different than this location that Dowser built, but nonetheless, it is a place that I think we can find information from, and or share any information with one another should we find something along the way.
I think it's a good idea. When can we set forward?
Julian and I are on the same page. I often find myself in agreement with him, and let's do it. I also cast my vote for this new place that although I understand also Henry's need to go to church, so I feel like given that we can accomplish quite a lot together in a single night, as we did last night. It seemed like 4 nights to me, but it was just we just get a lot done. That's all. So let's go. I'm ready to go.
And while we're there, we might find more individuals who need to go to church as well.
Indeed, that was my thoughts exactly. Yeah.
Any preparations anyone want to make before you head out? If that's the plan. Also, do you need lunch? Breakfast?
I'm fine. I'm only at 1 hunger.
Okay, fair enough.
I need breakfast. Like I could eat.
Your domain is quite small, and unless you have some
small.
brilliant idea, you need a normal kind of.
I have to hunt for my food, is what you're saying.
You have to hunt.
Yes. So I'm fine with doing that. Here's the thing. She's going to turn to the Guardian and go, you wouldn't happen to know anything about like expanding our territory here, would you?
I assume it would be the Baron who could do that.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no, he clearly made it very clear through Margaret that this is his city, or at least a good chunk of it is. No, I know the politics of it. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to if we were to expand our domain and perhaps this house. I'm sure that Dowser has been waiting to make additions. She's just going to speak for him. And if we were to do that, would we need an extension on the rituals that we've got in place here to do that? Would you be able to inform us about the necessities of that?
I don't think the basement could be changed. You have 4 stories upstairs, and whatever you do above ground is not really gonna affect anything down here. But unless...
Let me clarify my question. If we were to take the awesomeness that we've done here with our 4-story house that Dowser has designed, and I'm thinking bigger picture, right? I'm thinking...
Master Dowser has put himself literally into every single brick. So I guess given...
So we would just need him to put himself into any other additional installations and establishments that we have, yes?
If he remembers how.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Is it because you want my presence, mistress?
It is. I think that you are doing a fantastic job here. And I know that while you have your own grievances, you're at least polite enough to keep them to yourself. And you are very well behaved, very well dressed, I might add. And you have impeccable manners. And I feel that in time, you could perhaps even be a model for others like yourself.
Great.
She's just very happy. Yeah.
By the way, there's someone at the door. They've been standing there for 15 minutes.
Fuck, you're supposed to tell us this. Okay?
Just did.
They're not knocking. They're just waiting outside.
Who is it?
A male, human, mid-30s.
Do you have any more information than that?
His name is Patrick.
Okay, Patrick.
He is thinking about his girlfriend and Dowser.
Why
does he look like
his
Dowser?
girlfriend and Dowser?
He is here for Dowser. So he's trying to figure out how to get in since the house looks haunted and abandoned. His words, not mine. Or thoughts, at least.
Dowser will just start walking upstairs.
Dahlia will follow because she's intrigued.
Ella will follow as well because she will take care of it.
When the great steel doors open, Julian, you start to hear the tapping of a foot outside. It's quite soundproof down here, but you can hear and smell him now. That the seal, the magical barrier is broken.
Oh. There's someone here. And he's gonna get up and with his little... He's holding, like, folds his cane, just starts walking up the stairs, up the steps.
Is everyone going upstairs? Henry? Yeah. They get up. Dowser, you open the door. He's standing down the steps to the front door. He looks at you. Says, finally, I thought it was at the wrong place.
Hello.
This,
How may I help you?
I have a car for you
Why, thank you.
and a phone. It gives you a phone and car keys to a 7-seater car.
Thank you, Mr.
Patrick.
Patrick, darling, it's rude to not introduce yourself.
Sorry, who's she?
Just a friend, don't worry.
Okay, I'm gonna take off. My number's on the phone. Call me if you need anything, okay?
Have a good night.
You too. He walks into the mist. And this.
Wait. No. No, she's not gonna let him go. No. She's like, how dare you turn your back on me? And she's going to like run at him and like feed on him.
Can I stop her?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess it's a contested role.
Yeah. Strength and brawl.
Oh, I feel like we're going to be equally good at this.
Yeah, strength brawl, strength athletics.
If
It's 3
Jesus
successes.
Christ.
oh no.
Did I see what hand he handed that over to him? Like the keys?
Right hand, sorry.
This is so. Oh no.
Oh, hang on. No, does this mean Dahlia's trying to capture yet another mortal who can operate some sort of technological device?
No, she's trying to delete
She's
stuff
gonna
off my character sheet.
3. Oh, fucking.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck. What is the thing that a mortal has to roll, Dahlia? Because it hurts a lot.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hold
I
on.
can't remember the bane.
I can't either, and I should know it. I apologize.
Oh shit. I'm trying to
I have it in
remember
a
what.
book somewhere.
Uh,
I know it's in Cult of the Blood Gods, but I don't know.
yeah, and I just have to dig it up. I should have had this. I just
I'm
haven't
looking
needed it
too.
before now.
Let's see. It's like something bite, right? I forget what.
Yeah, it's painful bite and
Stamina
and-
resolve against difficulty 2 plus Bane severity in order not to recoil.
So if you recoil, it's just a normal trying to get free kind of thing.
feeding methods. Yeah, here we are. So darn it. Yeah, so they have to. Yeah, they have to. The victim, even those coerced or willing, must succeed in a stamina plus resolve test against difficulty 2 plus Bane severity, which is 4. So he has to make a 4 in order not to run away. But she can of course grapple him anyway. He's just trying to either needs to take it or run.
Well, I didn't succeed. The roll was weird, but.
So I can roll another grapple or another strength brawl if.
Oh, you have you have latched on. He is screaming. You can,
fantastic!
You can
excellent.
slake a hunger this round.
That's fantastic.
Go to
she
the
is
next.
feeding.
So do you want to try to pull off this round again?
Yeah, I'm considering doing it a bit more severely.
Henry's going to help. If Daisy's trying to get him off him, Henry will help.
Oh, lovely.
I'm just thinking who has the greatest strength here.
Super strong Henry.
Super strong Henry. Or Dowser, you're helping Henry, so Dowser, add an extra dive.
You're helping Henry. Henry's you're helping Henry.
Add an extra dive for Henry, and because Patrick is also trying to get then an extra for that. Dahlia, do your
excellent
strength brawl to hold on, unless you're really gonna let go.
she's yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow! Oh no! Oh no!
No, Dahlia, don't.
Christ
Well,
of
I guess I can
Nazareth,
cross
bro.
that off of my character sheet.
Oh, no.
You get some free XP soon.
Dahlia,
Yeah.
you go to 0. That's the good thing. You get a stain. And now you have a corpse in your hands.
Are there people watching?
There's a lot of animals watching you in a drone, but not
A drone? A drone is what? Oh my god! You dumb bitch.
Oh no!
I think it's only Julian who was aware of the drone, actually.
I think I remember previous episode. He's like, "There's some small machine following us."
There's no people in the streets, and you can only see about 10 yards in the fog. You can obviously hear the screaming, but it doesn't seem like anyone is running out of their houses or coming.
Yeah,
to
but not for
Patrick's.
long. The screaming doesn't last for long.
No, it lasts about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
Is it too late to use awe on someone who's actively dying? Or like entrancement?
It's okay.
It's all gonna be okay.
It'll be
It sounds
fine.
like someone's sort of like getting the last milkshake.
That's right. And then she just drops him. Just like a Capri Sun.
Also, I have to
Dowser,
ask
I'm
you,
so sorry.
and it's totally up to you, Dowser, but do you feel prepared in this situation?
Fuck no, I didn't even know he was here.
I'm referring to your conviction.
I know. I don't.
All right. A stain for you, my friend.
Yay.
People just go too far.
Henry, are you gonna make the corpse disappear?
No, Henry's going to drag the corpse into the building, out of sight,
Yes.
and then throw it in the cage with the other one.
All right.
Can I go through his pockets and check for stuff?
Yes. There's a phone and a wallet. Some keys. You assume to a house.
Dahlia, we're going to be going to a club where there are dancers. Are
I'm
you
ready.
okay not to just kill everyone you see? Do you think you can control yourself?
Henry, I've never felt better. Like,
I
since
know,
we woke
it's
up.
just a yes or no.
Yeah.
Can you, if you meet someone that turns their back to you, can you like resist the urge to kill them?
Shit. It was just a momentary lapse, darling, and just the offensive way that he treated me. He didn't even give me an introduction, didn't even give me a response, just turned his back like I was a nobody. Yeah, no, so we're good now.
So I can control myself, but I think I need to be keeping an eye on you.
No,
I'll stay
we're
near
good.
you at all times, just in case.
Yeah, Henry, we can keep an eye on each other. How's that?
I think you might need a bit more of an eye than me.
And are you also going to keep an eye on his girlfriend that were mentioned?
Dowser?
Yeah, the Guardian told us about his girlfriend.
Oh,
Is she mortal?
Clearly.
I'd like to be introduced.
Oh god.
Dowser, can
Hey,
you do
Henry.
a wits and aspect for me?
I would be honored.
And Dahlia will turn to Dowser and go, "Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him."
One.
One?
Yeah.
One clue, you see Patrick being handed the phone and the keys, but you don't see the figure handing it to him. It's someone tall. That's the only thing you take away from it, because it's at least a head taller than Patrick.
Okay. Gotcha. Anyway, who here knows how to drive a motor vehicle?
I do.
I think at this
I
moment
just-
you would, like, Julian would walk out of the house. Like, I heard screaming. What was that all about?
You also hear the dragging and back in the cage, and
Was there a
Oh,
car accident?
it was nothing, Jillian.
Dahlia had a
Nothing?
meal.
Talia. It sounded like a car accident out here.
It did, and it was. You know, that's we're just cleaning up the scene right now.
More of a train wreck, really.
Yes, yes, a train wreck indeed. It was. We're helping the situation. And she's just like dabbing her
Dahlia,
lips.
just so you're aware, I'm going to turn my back to you because I need to go over there. I mean nothing by this.
She's like,
Also-
Henry, you're so polite. See, that's all I asked for. Just a
Also,
little bit.
Julian is
just a little
often
bit of
unaware
manners.
of where you are because of his blindness. So, just okay.
Yeah, she's like, just a little bit of manners. Julian has plenty, and you have some. All right, and that's what I'm. That's all I ask.
Well, I usually can keep tabs on Dahlia. She usually smells very nice, but right now, and he's like pointing at Dahlia because he's like, I know she's right there, but she smells like blood.
Yes, there was some, Julian. There was, and that's why we're cleaning this up. We don't want the streets of our fair city being stained with blood. And she reassures him. She puts a blush warm hand on his shoulder, and she's like, "It's all taken care of. We're just doing our part to keep the city clean."
Did you get blood on my shirt? And he just kind of
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. In fact, and now that she takes him in, like, is Julian able to dress himself? Like, is it something he's able to do with his extrasensory perception?
He doesn't see color, but he has buttoned his shirt and everything. But
Does it look good?
he's a gorgeous man.
Okay, all
He
right.
looks a bit out of time.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and so he's so basically she's just like, now she gives a slow caress and she says, no, in fact, I would never do that. Like, look at you. You are the whole package, Julian. You are just, fantastic, magnifique. You are.
You hear what initially sounds like an earthquake. And then there's this dark, very intimidating presence that fills the room. And you all
Guardian! Like she's a guardian!
So you look over and it's Ella tapping her foot impatiently. Her eyes are red and she's just looking at you with arms crossed.
Sorry.
No, unacceptable. We have places to be and things to do, and murking innocence isn't one of those things.
You're right.
I might be able to get it out of your system last night, but here we are. She's just looking you up and down. Just not here for it. We have a car. I don't know who they were, but they gave someone here, one of our friends, keys. But that wasn't good enough for you. Please.
Of course, Ella, lead on, darling. I apologize. My deepest apologies. I just lost my temper, that's all.
Your temper? We just had a conversation about sinners and family trees
This
and
had nothing
felling
to-
them.
Okay.
Did we not?
You're right. You're right. Of course you're right. You're right. And
I
she's
don't know
just
where it
looking
came
very
from.
chagrined, like you're right.
Ella, your
I'll try to do better.
beast relaxes.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'll be in the front seat. Who's driving?
I can drive.
English Henry.
Julian.
I should walk to the car.
I've never tried driving before. Maybe someday I could try, right?
It would be more entertaining than this shit show here. And the outcome might be more favorable.
Julian tried the light in the mood in that moment, but the moment she responds like that, he just puts his head down. He's like really, he's really intimidated right now. He can't see her, but just the tone of voice is like, okay, I'll get in the back. Like,
Dolly is in the back with him, just not saying anything. She's just like,
Get in the car. Henry, do you have any Dutch and drive?
No.
All right. But you don't have the archaic. Just
I got the gist. Let's just not go fast or any dark corners.
yeah. You drove last night. You have to hang. It's a bit, back and forth, and you're not really sure how to change the gears correctly, but it works at least.
it stalls out sometimes,
And it's not good to drive fast in this kind of fog anyway. So.
You can only see a short distance in front of us.